he has the luxury that he has a very good bench, but well, sometimes a double-edged sword. You can't get those 11. They don't get to gel. You don't get the results you want. The Aztecs still trying to find the 11 to come out 1, 2, 3 games in a row.
Let's get our viewers acclimated to the ground rules here on this artificial surface with the football lines. Pay no attention, if possible, to those bold white sidelines, nor the maroon line. There you see the blue line. That blue line is the soccer line, as is replicated throughout the pitch. All the blue lines are in effect here. You see the center circle in blue. Maroon is lacrosse, the white, the American football lines. And as Steve Schrittschuh mentioned back in March, and again with some interviews leading up to this matchup, they were very well aware of the fact that this is a narrow pitch, but they trained for it this past week by putting cones on their home field. It's a match that will favor possession. Toure knocks it down. Flag is up offside on the gentleman who scored his second goal of the season and their last outing, a loss in Los Angeles.
That's a good play from the Aztecs, trying to get it to Toure early. And you see the intention, trying to find the game, being so dangerous when he's in that opportunity on goal. And that time, just unable to time his run.
But the pitch is about 63 yards wide here at House Park, compared to 76 yards in width over in Colorado Springs on their surface.
Well, the pitch is one thing that they cannot control, and well, another thing was they had a flight delay in DFW, so stuck up there were Colorado Springs Switchback FC. Try to get down here to Austin, and one of the things I don't think anyone can control.
There goes the perfect record that the airline industry was having. Meanwhile, neither of these two sides perfect either. Aztecs come into this match with now 3 blemishes, 2 wins, 3 losses, while Colorado Springs slightly better with 1 fewer match played at 2-2. 6 teams out of the Western Conference will advance into the playoffs this fall, and right now these 2 teams are 7th and 8th. Colorado Springs with a slight edge ahead of the Aztecs in the standings, but each on the outside looking in. Ambrose on the near side will send it down, looking for King. And it'll be poked away, still for a toss for Austin.
Yeah, well played by the Aztecs. Ball on the far side, swinging it back here to the near side. Ambrose using his speed, pressing up from that left back position.
Just a quick tap inside the 18. And the ball will easily be cleared up towards midfield. May have had a whistle, that is the case, so the ball will be returned to sender.
The Aztecs are going to be looking to play the ball through Yates. He's the number 10, the guy sitting right behind Toure. He's going to try to play it into Sanier over to the far side. Tierpak the near side here to King. Didn't get to start early, but he's really come on recently in practice. All the coaches just raving about Drew Yates and what he brings to this Aztec squad.
Kit, we mentioned each of these sides expansion teams within the USL, and that meant that with those 13 new clubs this year, you're able to create Western Conference, Eastern Conference. Everybody in your own conference you find on your schedule twice. But then there are 6 additional dates that had to be filled. They tried to focus on regional matchups for the sake of travel expense, and that means that Colorado Springs and Austin will play each other 4 times already. This is the final trip, though, of the year for Colorado Springs to Austin. The Aztecs still have to return the favor twice. Ball sent in, Tierpak header, a class shot off the former MLS performer as he comes back to Austin.
What a beautiful ball served in, put on a dime on the head of Tierpak right there. And Sani Toure, beautiful service from number 20, Tierpak making no mistake. And the Aztecs a dream start, a goal in the 9th minute.
Chris Tierpak finds his 3rd goal. It's the only one outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma that he has found this year. And it has the Aztecs with their earliest advantage of the season. Beautifully played ball right to the noggin of the former MVP of the USL PDL in that national championship run of 2 years ago.
Yeah, Toure not known as a man who dishes a lot of assists, but that time absolutely beautiful. Put that right on the money. Tierpak able to squeeze it by Gorick, and well, now the pressure on the visitors from Colorado Springs as they look to find the equalizer.
Aztecs would just as soon find insurance early, something they did not find until late from a sub against Colorado Springs, the last outing. A promising start here for the home side.
And hopefully this is a promise of more goals to come. So far, this has been very fast-paced, entertaining. The Aztecs, they've controlled the majority of the possession.
Just the 6th goal of the year for Austin. They have allowed 6 as well, so neutral in terms of goal differential this year now.
That's one of the things. This Austin team, they're one of the leaders in shots in the USL, but they have to convert more of those shots. More of those have to find the back of the net. Great way to start this one, and hopefully gives them a bit of confidence as this game progresses.
But again, they continue to average now 1 goal per contest. A couple of shutout victories earlier this year. Cody Lorendi has his first lead to work with as the man in frame for the Aztecs this year.
Yeah, you know he's happy about that. Very, very difficult for a goalkeeper to always be playing from behind. So difficult psychologically to stay in the match, but Lorendi now the 1 goal lead and still a clean sheet.
Oh, that ball fortunately found its way to the feet of King. They cannot redirect it up ahead to Toure for a second time. See how Colorado Springs able to recover. Again, they found 5 goals in their last outing. Flag up. And this ball quickly sent back to Austin. Tad 2. Quick off the mark by Aaron King, who was so active the first meeting this year.
Now you figure if Colorado Springs is going to get back into this one, it's going to be number 4, the captain, Vercoloni, playing a part. He sent the ball through there. The run not timed. Vercoloni's so dangerous, the veteran, over 100 appearances in the USL. She said on last week's Team of the Week, converting twice from the penalty spot. Once in a pretty hairy situation there in the snow, but beautiful placement on both of those. The keeper guessed right each time, but to no avail.
I don't think we would mind snow here in Austin. That's about the only way to cure the American football lines on these artificial pitches. There is certainly a trade-off, though, for Austin having their matches on this pitch. You are in downtown. We are literally blocks removed from the state capitol building, which fans across the way can spot from their seats with ease.
That's one of the best things about House Park, historic House Park, built in the late 30s, and Aztecs an opportunity there. The heavy touch, just blocks from downtown, blocks from the live music venues, from the places to eat, all the things that everyone loves about Austin.
There's a big festival right now, no surprise here in Austin, and a park that is just across the street. Ball deflected wide, and see if this is a corner for the Aztecs. That is the case. A big set piece opportunity for the home side.
The Aztecs with some momentum, the goal to the good for the host, and now trying to add.
So again, Gorick is your man in frame directing traffic right now. His switchbacks have already conceded 1 goal. But it's the visitors from Colorado Springs able to get the first touch on the ball. And it'll slow down the attack. Rosaboom will have the throw here in just a moment. And he will now concede that.
I think the switchbacks just need to weather this storm. The Aztecs feeling everything, all the adrenaline, all the momentum on the side of the team in the Navy kits. But if the switchbacks can get a few numbers forward, there's space in the counter.
Lob inside the 18, still not cleared. Gorick will squeeze it in.
Gorick trying to do just that, trying to outlet this one quickly.
And Gorick, the 27-year-old out of West Virginia. Actually went to high school in the Sunshine State of Florida. This may sound like an exaggeration, but that may have been the longest that Colorado Springs possessed the ball on the plus side of midfield here in this match in the opening 45.
Yeah, the Aztecs midfield has done a great job winning the ball back in the center third, not forcing their defense to take care of all those responsibilities. And so far, the Aztecs continuing to press, looking for the second goal.
Right now, going for the stroll is McGinnis. He'll poke it up ahead, but Lorendi comes outside the 18 and will send that ball into the stands to about the 3rd row.
Yeah, McGinnis, very impressive young man. Grew up in the Watford youth system over there on the other side of the pond in England. Played at the IMG Academy down in Florida, as so many successful players have, and really adds a bit of bite. One of the bigger backs in that side, and just the guy you need in midfield to really win the ball back.
That pass will be centered. Glad we had that shot. I know things look a bit thin across the way, but a nice turnout here for this Saturday afternoon and now evening matchup. A lot of the fans here on the east side braving, looking into that sun as it's set, which it now has. Toure, that long stride. Play continues, and it'll be won by Colorado Springs as they prevail.
Colorado Springs just can't seem to get out of their own way right now. Defensively shambles the team in white. The Aztecs looking, pressing, trying to find the insurance goal.
Leszek Stalmach is our referee. Ian Chapman and Joel McKell, our assistant referees for this matchup. Luis Guardia at the table across the way. Here's King. Brendan King has seen all 5 matches put on his resume thus far. Just 2 Aztecs have played every minute so far this season, and, well, predictably, they're both on that back line, including the man on loan from Major League Soccer. Talking about Kalen Ryden from Columbus.
We mentioned the Aztecs having issues trying to get players as Ambrose shows a beautiful piece of skill there.
Tapped from the big toe on the left foot up ahead. That'll be a corner kick conceded. King will again handle the honors. It'll be a short corner. Left boot, back post, and a header finds its way in favor of Colorado Springs. Will simply be a toss now for the Aztecs across the way. Well, the Aztecs aren't the only side with a player on loan from Major League Soccer on their back line. For the visitors, Taylor Hunter, a young man who grew up in Aurora, Colorado, but actually is on assignment loaned out from the Houston Dynamo on a short-term loan. So he welcomes the return, I'm sure, to this humidity. It's really the elevation of his home state that he admits was a bit of a struggle getting readjusted to.
I think that's a huge difference going from sea level in Houston and back up to the mile-high city and vice versa. The heat, the humidity, the altitude, and it's one of the things about soccer. We saw it, Colorado Springs playing in a snow game last time out. Well, now hot and humid here in Central Texas.
A foul on Austin as, let's see if this buys some breathing room for Colorado Springs.
Right, Colorado Springs needs to take advantage of this, see if they can get some numbers up the pitch. See if they can get some possession in the center third. So far, Aztecs just dominating.
Again, that was the 21-year-old. We were just talking about Taylor Hunter with the restart for the Switchbacks. And another toss for the visitors, as that is McGinnis who will send it in. McGinnis, one of our international players, getting the start in this matchup tonight for Colorado Springs from over in England. Tierpak, right now the difference maker with his header. Able to slide right through the gauntlet with ease. Poke back inside, has space, but did not have the angle.
Yeah, Tierpak knows he should have done better in that situation. Beautiful job, unselfish play. You saw what makes him such a great talent, a great individual player, able to weave through the Switchbacks defense, left it off for a teammate, but the finish just a bit lacking in 1-0, still the scoreline.
Fewer than 10 minutes had elapsed into this matchup when Tierpak found his 3rd goal of the year. His other 2 goals came in a brace on the road at Tulsa. Part of a bright start for the Aztecs this season before a recent skid now. Their only home victory against these Switchbacks thus far in that opener. Gorick outside of the 18 now will retreat back to his line, but has done his job for now. That ball quickly issued in to Toure. King. And back to Ambrose. Will lob in another cross, and it's just punched wide by Gorick. Roseboom will be able to track it down. Trying to run things through Tierpak. But Switchbacks FC survive.
Yeah, very impressive so far from Austin, really taking control of this game, taking it to Switchbacks FC. Colorado Springs on their heels defensively, if nothing else.
Gorick again, the man in frame, getting the start here tonight think we were both fairly impressed with the performance of Bader in that opener. It was a couple of goals that came later in the matchup that would cost Switchbacks FC their first chance at points this year. And on the opposite side, the bearded man in frame, Cody Lorendi, with his second appearance this year for Austin.
We mentioned the deep benches for both of these teams, and both these head coaches, Steve Tritchie for Colorado Springs, Paul Dalglish for Austin. Great luxury to have two goalkeepers at this level who can plug in, play either one. And right now, both doing a very good job. The difference, just that beautifully served in ball from Toure, just found the head of Tierpak. He was able to slide. He was able to find just the inside of the post.
Roseboom usually is going to have the size advantage when matching up in that midfield.
Roseboom, a great job as a defensive midfielder. He talked about his size, but really uses it well, knows how to shield the defender, knows how to use it to his advantage. And he's one of those guys that the Aztecs fans weren't quite sure what to make of him before the season. He is a fan favorite. He has found his way into the hearts and minds of the blue and gold faithful. Roseboom, well-deserved getting the captain's armband. He's been sporting that armband the past few matches. One of the consistencies in the middle for the Aztecs. The changes they make, well, Roseboom always in the starting 11, or certainly seems to be.
Here's Kalen Ryden, former Aztec, who was drafted this past January by Columbus in the MLS Super Draft, only to be loaned back to the Aztecs for the season. Aztecs not only a relationship with the Columbus Crew and MLS, but also connections with a Brazilian side. Opportunity past the final back man, but just not enough help in the area. But Aztecs making the Switchbacks sweat here early.
Yeah, you mentioned the affiliation with the Brazilian side, Curitiba, down there in southern Brazil. Two players up, Fernando Chimbo and Guaraci. Guaraci, very impressive start to the season. A bit of a knock on the knee, and not in tonight's starting lineup, hoping to get him back 100%.
Yeah, he was listed as probable earlier this week, recovering from that knee injury. I believe he exited the match against Tulsa a couple weeks back. Up ahead to the man with the samurai do, Roseboom. Out to King. And he'll lob one ahead. He's got options. Tierpak is the man he chooses out wide.
You see the Aztecs, they really like to attack from the wide areas. They like to play it. That's where the success is coming from so far. But a poor ball gives it away.
Nice opportunity. Rushendell will slow things down with those red boots. And this is certainly something that benefits the Aztecs. Just because you play on a narrow pitch doesn't mean it's in favor, or in your favor, I should say, unless you can actually successfully possess a ball. And at the moment, they've been able to prove to be able to do exactly that in the opening 23 minutes.
Possession well on the side of the Aztecs. It's still very early, a lot of time for Colorado Springs. No need to start throwing everything forward, but that being the case, you're going to have to start getting some possession. The Aztecs, if they continue to have this much possession, these many shots on goal, you've got to think it's only a matter of time before they find the second insurance one.
Chris Tierpak with the lone goal thus far. I believe in the midst of the 9th minute. Able to let the fans over there in Eberle's Army. Nice brief shot of the folks over there. Breathe a little bit easier. They did not see a goal the last time they showed up in droves when Austin fell to Arizona. There's the supporters group of the Austin Aztecs.
Always standing the entire match, always chanting, always adding to the great atmosphere at historic House Park. One of the best supporters groups in the league, and hats off to them.
They invite anybody to stand with them, just as long as there's certain decorum that is followed with regards to language. But a classy group, very knowledgeable group as well. Ball still very much alive with this opportunity for the Aztecs. Ambrose, that cross will bend a bit prematurely. Tierpak keeps it alive, and we'll see if they can reset and start fresh.
Yeah, the last pass just lacking there. But the Aztecs, not traditionally a team that plays the long ball. They like to keep it on the carpet. They've had a lot of success serving it in from wide areas.
Rare opportunity, just could not execute, as that'll die down a little more than 30 yards out. Able to save that possession there for the Aztecs was Kyle Hoffer. Hoffer joins Ryden on that back line as the only man for the Aztecs to play every minute this year, regardless of position.
Yeah, Hoffer, the native of Bardonia, New York, longtime member of the Rochester Rhinos. And I actually spoke with him before this match, and he looked at me and said, "Is this as hot as it gets?" I said, "Unfortunately, no. It will continue to warm up for the preceding few months."
Yeah, Hoffer was part of the Charleston Battery side that won the league title back in 2012. And let's see what we have here. Inside the 18, and this will put Lorendi back on his line, but no, they're going to spot it, it appears, just outside. That's a big break. Vercoloni, who converted 2 PKs in that 5-2 victory against the Real Monarchs, it looks like it's going to have to settle for a free kick from just outside.
Yeah, the Switchbacks captain licking his chops, saying he may have another penalty kick to take, but it appears it'll be Harada standing over this one just inches outside the top of the box. But this is a very difficult situation. You have to lift this up and over the wall, or you can choose to go low. We'll see what the case is here.
The 34-year-old native of Japan, Harada, will likely join Vercoloni by the end of this year in triple-digit matches played in the USL. Those two veterans right now hovering over the ball. Lorendi on his line. Harada will bend it just over the top left 90, and there was nothing that Lorendi could have done in response.
Harada actually putting that ball between the top of the soccer goal and underneath the football goalpost, squeezing that one in an absolutely impossible position, but the Switchbacks FC fans unable to put it on goal. Lorendi didn't know much about it, was playing to the near post. Beautiful placement. The Aztecs lucky that they still have a 1-0 lead.
Sadly, I would argue that to convert a shot like that and squeeze it between would be more difficult than actually putting it inside the frame.
Well, in that case, I would have to agree with you 100%. That's kind of a 1 in a million right there. For a lot of people, Shintaro Harada, well, I think he could do that more than most.
So the Aztecs survive. No equalizer, at least not yet, coming from the visitors. Things have, we'll note, cooled off here as the sun has set. We don't expect much cramping here in the opening half from the visiting side.
Yeah, cooled off to a balmy 82 degrees now.
In numbers still in favor of the Aztecs. And that ball continues to spill closer to the 18, but finally sent back towards midfield. Now a foot race. Toure will be the first man to it. 1v3. Slows down, waits for numbers, and was waiting for a run. Did not get it.
Yeah, maybe a bit too fine there from Toure. I like the idea of slowing it down and waiting for Shirts and Navy to come and help. But that time, just trying to lift that one over, a bit of miscommunication, and Yates unable to get on the end of it.
We've seen some chip shots the last few weeks at various levels of American soccer that have proven successful, and Toure opted to forego that. I did not have a good look at where the keeper was with regard to his line at the time. But for now, it's just a 1-goal match. Ambrose back to the middle to Yates.
Yeah, the former University of Maryland man, the left back. Ambrose so fast, so dangerous pressing forward.
Rushendell again with those red boots out to Ambrose, who decided to forego his final year of eligibility in college to go pro this season. Same was the case for Devin Perales, one of the top 2 goalkeepers for the Aztecs this year. Austin had all that success in the PDL level. Last year made the announcement that they would ascend to the 3rd division of U.S. soccer here in the USL.
Yeah, 2013 USL PDL champions. Paul Dalglish, Coach of the Year. Chris Tierpak, MVP that season. But things have been difficult, and as you might expect, moving up a league, going professional, the Aztecs faithful, well, I thought they assumed things maybe a bit easier. Not the case. The Aztecs, it's a rough start here to the USL.
7 current Aztecs have ties to the Aztecs of old, whether it be the PDL or the old U23 side that nowadays is referred to as Orlando City SC of Major League Soccer. But 7 of these men have experience playing here in the capital city. And that means that the fans have plenty of experience cheering them on.
Yeah, well won that time. King dropping back, the former Chicago Fireman, Notre Dame Fighting Irish alum.
Ambrose has it plucked away. Opportunity out wide. That ball sent in. Bit behind the target, but still danger. That ball deflected up and over. We'll have a corner kick coming up for the Switchbacks, and I believe all of that really began with the play of Mike Seth. Seth on the right wing kept a ball alive, applied the pressure, and Austin is not in the clear just yet.
Yeah, one of the first really dangerous possessions for Colorado Springs, and that time, beautiful job dummying that one for the better shot, but deflected over the top. Danger still looming in the corner.
All Vercoloni has done this year is come through with 3 assists to complement his 2 goals. Keeps it low. Tierpak. That ball heading the wrong direction for a moment. Finally is southbound for the Aztecs. And back on the foot of Harada. Up ahead, McGinnis. And that ball will continue in favor of Switchbacks FC. McGinnis will have the toss here in a moment.
And Colorado Springs starting to show some signs of life offensively. They were on their heels for the first 30 minutes, but now looking for the equalizer before the break.
First touch from Austin out to Harada, and Harada again within inches of leveling this match.
Yeah, Switchbacks FC unlucky on 2 separate occasions. Harada, he measured it, he saw it, he knew it was there, he saw it finding the back of the net, but just skimming wide. Lorendi very lucky that one did not find the back of his goal.
How often, whether it be in the USL or the NASL, do we see that some of the older competitors are actually from Japan, but, well, they are still about as fundamentally sound as somebody 10 years younger.
Yeah, Japanese soccer, one of the things that they've been so good for so long, talking about players like Hidetoshi Nakata, even the younger guys, and one of the things that they are so good at what they do, they practice, they have those skills, and well, the thing, your speed will leave you, your strength will leave you, the skills, that's the last thing to go. Certainly the case with Harada.
As he has had a couple of strikes that have been so close to being the first goal this year for Colorado Springs here in the Lone Star State. Ball played through, but plucked away. Vercoloni. Headed down by Armstrong. But again, you see the sea of those navy blue kits quickly getting the numbers back. And they'll finally win them the ball across the way.
The good news, there are more white kits starting to press forward offensively for Colorado Springs. That time you saw Seth again starting to make his presence known in this match.
Austin concedes this ball closer to midfield.
Little by little, the Aztecs' control of this one is slipping away. Still with the 1-goal lead, but not having the possession, not having the shots on goal that they did early.
A reminder to visit the new USL website, uslsoccer.com, to get the latest news, live stats for these matches, and check out the new social media hub as well while you're there. Very active on Twitter and Facebook, as you can find them on Twitter at USL. And a whistle inside the box. Ball will go back in favor of Austin. And also find the USL on Facebook as well for exclusive league news and interactive content. Both of these teams very active on social media as well. I know I like to praise clubs that do what Austin does, and that is create a separate account, the Aztecs Matchcast, on Twitter, so that innocent bystanders don't have their timelines bombarded by play-by-play. We can't do much for our listeners who are bombarded by our voices during this broadcast.
No,
there is a mute feature, I'm told, on YouTube.
That being said, we welcome all of you watching from Colorado Springs and everywhere in Colorado supporting Switchbacks FC. You know, the Aztecs looking forward to those 2 trips up to that beautiful new stadium.
At halftime, we remind you on the YouTube broadcast, you can always essentially create your own replay. Go back to about the midst of the 9th minute, and you'll find that lone goal for Austin, a header from Chris Tierpak, his 3rd goal on the year. And that is the difference thus far through almost 35 minutes. Though Harada has done his best to put that first goal on the board in favor of the men in all white tonight. Almost no possession early this half for Colorado Springs. As of late, that has changed.
I must say I'm very impressed with the Aztecs. They've come out, they've executed their game plan to perfection. This is a team, they like to take the lead. They like to go in front early. Well, really, as any team does. But the Aztecs, their MO is they like to press the pace, especially in the first 45 minutes. Paul Dalglish, their head coach, talks about playing the full 90. They're not there yet, but they're getting better each and every time out.
I thought you were going to cite a team from South America that didn't like to take the lead early. Perhaps you knew something I didn't. There's a battle on that far touchline. Ball stays in play. But 3 Aztecs to the 1 Switchback. Colorado Springs will send this back towards midfield, and Ryden will be called for the foul.
Yeah, a bit of disconnect for the Springs, and you see their players in white. A lot of guys in their defensive third and the center third, but not as many in the offensive third. They're going to have to find a way to improve that link play to the guys up front.
Well, you have a feeling Harada can put this ball on any one of his 6 teammates ahead of him. He does exactly that. Nicely played off the back of the head, but ultimately wide, and Lorendi with the easy stop. Good idea, just does not come through that time around.
Yeah, it's been a pretty routine 37 minutes of the first half for Cody Lorendi. And as you said, the only time so far as a starter he has had a lead behind him. And that's a huge thing mentally for a goalkeeper. It's very difficult to always play from behind, to always be nervous, to always be wondering. But 1 goal lead really just kind of soothes things, calms things for the man between the sticks.
Well, when these 2 teams got together in that opener back in March, Austin barely outshot the visitors from Colorado Springs 11-10. I don't know if we're on pace for that.
No, things have certainly cooled off from the opening when the Aztecs were pressing. That first goal coming in the 9th minute. Beautiful service from Toure right on the head of Tierpak and able to just barely slip it by Gorick. But since then, the Aztecs continuing to press. Another ball played in.
And that ball still, I believe, found the side of the net. Looks can be deceiving, but it is still 1-0 here in Austin.
That time Toure, who is the assist man for the Aztecs' lone goal, looking to bury that one, but unable to put it on the right side of the post.
So Sandy Toure looking to close in. So again, 1-0 continues to be our score, and it's been that way for almost half an hour now. The Aztecs got a little too close for comfort for Colorado Springs' liking, and those fans looking for a reason to erupt once again.
Yeah, they've got to be happy with what they've seen so far here in the first half. The Aztecs, they've dominated the possession, shots on goal, really all statistical categories. But the one thing of disappointment, only a 1-goal lead.
King is offside, receiving that pass from Ambrose, and they'll surrender it.
We mentioned it earlier, Mikey Ambrose, the former Terrapin, gave up his final year of eligibility so fast. Arguably one of the fastest players on the team is number 3. And he has free reign to press forward out of that left back position. He always gets back to defend, but in the new breed of those wing backs, the Dani Alves from Barcelona, Marcelo from Real Madrid, those guys, they don't contribute to the offense. They really start the offense.
All Ambrose managed to do in his 3 years in College Park, Maryland, was lead the Terrapins to 2 College Cups. Now, he's from Texas originally, from the Dallas area, out of Frisco. Many of you may say, Frisco sounds familiar. Well, that's actually where FC Dallas plays their match, up there at Toyota Stadium. It's on the north side of the Metroplex. And a collision. This will be a free kick for Harada, or one of his teammates, from better than 40 yards out.
And as you speculated initially, it'll be Harada. He's the man. He can put it on a dime. And all the Switchbacks need is to get one by Larendi, and we're all even. The Aztecs slowly losing the momentum they had to start.
They center the ball with space to work with. Try to chip it inside the 18. No success as of yet. And a cross immediately rejected. Aztecs not in the clear. Larendi devoting his full focus on that ball and its placement right now, just outside of your shot, as this will be a toss for the opposition. And Larendi finally able to squeeze it in.
Yeah, too easy for Larendi there. You got to put that one at the top of the box. Larendi, he's one of those goalkeepers. He has no problem coming off his line. We've seen his opposite number, Gorick, much the same. In fact, he's come out of his box twice to clear balls away with his head.
Again, Larendi allowed 2 goals in his debut against Los Angeles. Sandy Ture had found the equalizer in that matchup before Los Dos took the lead right back and claimed the full 3 points at home. Ambrose able to center it 20 yards out, still poked ahead. Little dance from Ture, and that left spin will send it one.
Yeah, Sandy Ture just unable to make up his mind. That ball not settling the way he intended and forced to take a shot that did not find the goal of Gorick. But the Aztecs, little by little, trying to get back. It was a hot start, obviously dominated the first 20, maybe even first 30 minutes. But starting to lose that momentum. We talked about the Aztecs, they want to play 90 minutes. So far, not the case.
Well, you talk about near misses. That category may very well be in favor, if there is such a thing, for Colorado Springs, with a couple of Harada near misses that otherwise could have leveled this matchup on each occasion.
Neither one of these teams shy about taking shots. One thing to put the ball on goal, quite another to put it in the back of the net.
McGinnis centers this ball up ahead. King out one. Colorado Springs playing their 5th match of the year. Through their first 4 contests in the USL, they have either claimed all 3 points or surrendered all 3. The Aztecs, 2 wins, 3 losses, also have not settled for a lone point. All or nothing for these 2 sides thus far. That puts Colorado Springs right now 7th in the Western Conference, while the Aztecs are right behind them at 8th in the standings.
Even though it's still early in the season, pressure mounting on both of these teams and their head coaches to get results. More so on the Aztecs. Dropped their last 2, their first losing streak as a professional franchise, and looking to remedy that, doing a good job here in the first half.
Each team 500 on the road this year. That's not bad when you essentially want to average at least a point when away from home.
That's the old adage. Win at home, draw on the road. The Aztecs, they've been able to draw for the most part on the road. The problem is winning here at home.
Aztecs 1-2 here at House Park. Colorado Springs 1-1. About 30 yards out at the moment. They'll give up ground for a better look. I'll swing it around again to Hunter on loan from the Dynamo. Larendi 8 yards off his line. Just had a friendly coming his way.
And one of the things the Aztecs and their goalkeeper coach Rick Grandwood really like about Larendi is he's vocal and he comes off his line. Doesn't play with the feet. He comes off, takes it with the gloves, able to snatch it.
Cody Larendi at 6'3". We don't have his weight, but he is a sizable man in frame. The kind of guy that most forwards, most strikers are going to shy away from charging at on a 50-50 ball. Not a collision you want. Nor is Roseboom. King for the Aztecs. Yates had set up King, who sent that into the box. And it's back out to Roseboom.
Yeah, the Aztecs need to come back to this near side. This is where they've had the most success, playing it up through Ambrose onto King, and even Rochandell and Yates getting into it a bit.
No reason to expect much stoppage time here in the first half. In fact, I believe 45 minutes was all we saw the first time these two teams came together before going to the locker room. Cross sent up top, looking for Trey. Header off the post in favor of Gorick. And he can say a big thank you to that hardware in a moment once he discards this ball.
Gorick extremely lucky that one didn't come off his back and end up over the goal line. That being said, very, very well played. Gorick able to get to it, press it off the post. And Touré unlucky that he didn't come up with his first goal to go along with an assist.
And that'll be it. These two sides bound for the locker room with just one goal between them. But for the folks who made their way to House Park on this Saturday evening, the lone goal has gone their way. Aztecs get the header as Chris Tierpak sends it into the back of the net, and it is 1-0 at the moment, halfway through here in the capital city. We'll take a break for halftime. We'll let you get up and stretch your legs as well. You can always take us on the road with you, as all the broadcasts this year for USL contests can be accessed for free on YouTube. That will also include the postseason games, all live, free, and in high definition. You can connect with the YouTube channel as you have today all season long. Also want to remind you, again, to take this opportunity to visit the new USL Soccer website, uslsoccer.com. Latest news, the live stats, including this matchup, and a chance to check out the new social media hub. Most important stat, though, thus far through 45 minutes, one goal. And it rears its head in favor of the home side. Aztecs looking to snap a 2-game losing skid and snap a 2-game winning streak of the Switchbacks while they are at it. We'll be back for the start of the second half here in Austin.
It's USL Rising. It's an exciting day for us, exciting time and an exciting future ahead. USL is an aspirational league, so we felt USL Rising was a good moniker, as you call it, for where we are now and where we aspire to be. 2015 season, we're going to see 24 clubs in the league, 13 new clubs. So, incredible off-season growth. Very proud about that, very proud about the quality of the groups joining us. They're going to add a tremendous amount of value to the league. Going on this rebranding process, I would say it's going back about 6 or 8 months now. But the decision to rebrand came before that. Last year it was part of a strategic plan, a long-term plan for the league, which had a number of initiatives that we would work through over the next 3 to 4 years. But the rebrand was the central pillar from which all of those other initiatives should flow. we're at a point now in our league where we've got a really solid foundation. We've worked hard as a league and as member clubs to get where we are now. And we're about to embark on a whole host of new things, but a new era for the league. So we want to look at the name of the league. We want to look at the look and feel. And we want to look at the story. And were we communicating all the things that we wanted to through those different mediums? We didn't think we were. So the rebrand was exactly that. Putting a story together. We've worked hard on that. We believe we're telling the story with our pillars. And we're rallying around the We Are United. I feel very strongly about the We Are United. We're united as a set of clubs, united as a set of communities, and a united fan base. And we're all working towards the same goal, to make this league the best league, and to make those clubs in those markets the best clubs. So when we designed the new system for the USL, we didn't want it to go to the traditional route of a shield or a crest or a league mark that was inflexible, that was had to be sort of worshipped. It wasn't about the league. So we felt, as we went through the design process with our design firm, Good Omen Partners in New York, we were very excited to go down the road of looking at the USL as a word mark, a stylized word mark, as the logo itself for the league. And what's really cool about the logo is, yes, there's a primary mark and there's primary colors, and that's how we'll use it in the main from the league's point of view, but it was designed as a geometrical toolkit. You know, it's got the geometry of the football field in there, and it's got the squares and the triangles and the semicircles and all the shapes and angles that you find on a field contained within it, so that it is completely adaptable. And that was the whole direction we wanted to go. It's customizable and adaptable to the local clubs, to their club colors, to their designs, to how they want to identify themselves through the brand, to the league's brand, or the supporters, how the supporters want to identify to their local club through the USL mark. They can do that with the team's colors. Their corporate partners can do the same thing. So it's very adaptable. So the league logo can take a back seat, but it's more about the clubs. And we thought that was really cool. And I think the feedback we've got so far from the clubs has been really positive. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
such a lovely night. Here we go.
Halftime here at House Park, the second and final meeting between these two sides in Austin. Again, Lincoln Rose, Kim McConico with you here in Texas as the Aztecs will venture off to Colorado Springs for 2 trips as well. One of those will be on July 3rd in Colorado, and again, that will take place over at the new venue that they've put some money and some backing in over there at Colorado Springs. Talking about Sandy Creek Stadium, $2 million renovation currently underway. As you see the fans who have made their way back from the popular Shiner Beer Garden that's just behind us. A lot of fans, future Aztecs perhaps, taking in this one. Well, the goal came in the 9th minute from Chris Tierpak, his 3rd goal of the year. He had a brace, the first 2 goals in Tulsa. That was the last victory this year for the Austin Aztecs, who outshoot the Switchbacks in the first half 5-3. Also outfoul them 5-2. But again, the one number that stands the tallest right now is the one on the scoreboard in favor of the home side.
Yeah, both teams had opportunities. Both teams had chances. The difference that one beautifully served in ball from Toure. Chris Tierpak able to head that one past Gorick. The only goal of the first half. The good news is I anticipated a very entertaining second half. Both of these teams, we talked about it in the pregame, they need the victory. They're looking for the 3 points. And that being said, they're both going to press. They're both going to look. Colorado Springs, they need the equalizer. The Aztecs, they're looking for the insurance goal.
Just had a entertaining USL match wrap up moments ago as St. Louis FC was able to get a 2-1 victory on the road against Oklahoma City Energy FC. That was entertaining in the sense that there was a double red card late in that match. So they both finished a man down 10-on-10. We are currently 11 strong for both sides. Neither coach has made one of their allotted 5 substitutions. That's right, in the USL, 5 substitutions available to both sides. It's rare, though, that we have seen coaches make that sub, but we may have one to start here in the second half coming out of the locker rooms.
Yeah, it appears that Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC will indeed be making a change here at the break, and I believe that is going to be Ronnie Argueta coming on for the second half. And indeed it will. Number 8, Argueta, will get the full 45 minutes, so head coach Steve Trishu elects to make his first of 5 changes in the match.
Well, and for that central mid out of Fountain Valley, California, he's only played a little over half an hour total through his first 3 appearances this year. So if he goes the full second half, he will more than double his minutes on the season. As Lorendi just got the note that the half's about to start.
Yeah, well, the good news for Colorado Springs is their 2 games against the Aztecs, both coming relatively early in the season. Certainly warmer than what they're used to, but much nicer, much more pleasant than it's going to become July and August here in Central Texas.
Mentioned these 2 teams will meet in Colorado July 3rd, and then later September 9th. That September 9th matchup, Kid, is going to kick off the final 3 games, all being on the road for the Aztecs in September. Colorado Springs, Seattle, and Vancouver as they head to the Great Northwest.
Yeah, great road trip against, right now, 2 of the best teams in the Western Conference. Talk about Seattle 2 and WFC 2 really trying to improve. Seattle 2 at the top. Their neighbors to the north.
How about a quick equalizer here in the second half for the Switchbacks? Denied by Lorendi. Oh, the quick reflexes, could not squeeze it in, but was able to poke it wide.
Yeah, that was another new addition, Said Robinson right there. And the speed, the pace, Lorendi, all he could do was push it away.
McGinnis will toss it back in, a lob close to the 6. Dangerous header, and Lorendi able to pounce on this one. Well, that was not the initial touch that the back line of the Aztecs wanted following the throw-in. A nice toss by Colorado Springs, but in the end, Lorendi comes through for a second time in a matter of a minute.
Yeah, the Aztecs not the start they were looking for, and thank goodness Lorendi back there between the sticks. Fantastic is the man from Florida, and a beautiful save there, sparing the blushes of Rosenboom and the rest of the Aztecs defense.
Well, it's one thing to be spotted a goal lead to work with in the 9th minute. It's another to actually go out there and defend it. Being put on the spot, coming through with stops. A cross denied, and Switchbacks FC will keep this ball in play, but still with the Aztecs. Back post was vulnerable, and that will lead Colorado Springs to weigh their options and ultimately decide to concede a corner kick. Aztecs had 8 corners against Colorado Springs, 8-3 the advantage when these 2 met in the opener. Although no goals came from any of those set pieces. Back post looking for Tierpak in that head that has the lone goal thus far tonight. But the Switchbacks have held. So Colorado Springs came out of the locker room full speed ahead, determined to quickly level this match and find that goal that never came in the opening 45. Gorick has seen his team working from behind for the vast majority of this contest. And a decisive possession advantage for the home side.
Aztecs still clinging to that 1-0 lead and very lucky to be on top by the smallest of margins, and they can thank their goalkeeper Cody Larendi. Great goalkeeping. His defense seemingly letting him down, but coming up with a huge save.
And nobody to complete this run. I say that, never question the speed of Sandy Ture in that long stride. Man who spent parts of each of the last 2 years in the North American Soccer League, the second division of U.S. soccer, with the San Antonio Scorpions last year, where he claimed the Soccer Bowl trophy with his teammates, including a super sub on this year's Aztex roster, and Trevin Caesar.
Yeah, Ture and Caesar actually roommates there, and two get along very well, know each other from their time down with the Scorpions in the NASL. The question with Ture is always his health. If he's healthy, he is magnificent. We saw it when he was the USL previously with the Riverhounds, but his health has been a question, his knee going in and out, but so far this year, the Aztecs, they've been very pleased. They say he's been able to get back to full fitness. And you see what you saw it in the first half. He had the assist to Tierpak for the lone goal.
It's a goal kick for Larendi. Noted earlier, Austin has 6 total goals this year. 3 have come from Tierpak, 2 from Ture, and the other one from Trevin Caesar against these Switchbacks in that opener for some insurance in the second half. Can Austin find insurance similarly here? Since emerging from the locker room, or will Colorado Springs find their first goal here in Texas this year?
I think whoever is able to find this next goal, it's going to really change the complexion of this one. Obviously, Austin, if they're able to get that insurance goal, the 2-0 scoreline, so different from 1-0. But Colorado Springs, for my money, they were the better team at the end of the first half and really taking it to the Aztecs here early in the second.
Well played ball out wide. He was able to guide it among some Aztecs successfully to a white kit, but that attack ultimately short-lived. Quick toss offered back in by Burt.
Yeah, the 2 new additions for Switchbacks FC, especially the inclusion of Robinson. Robinson's so fast. One of those guys so good when he takes the ball, defender's ball at his boots. He can really make things happen, and I think that's the impetus for bringing him in here in the second half. Have one of those guys and see if he can break down that defense.
Mentioned Jordan Burt. He did get the start tonight, his 3rd appearance on the year for the Switchbacks, after playing just 1 minute off the bench in that 5-2 victory against the Real Monarchs. Both of Colorado Springs' victories this year have come against the USL side of Real Salt Lake. A 1-0 victory in Salt Lake, followed by a quick turnaround. And we're going to see a few of those in the USL, playing the same team a couple times within the span of a week. You will quickly learn to get tired of one another.
Building those rivalries, that's one of the things. Colorado Springs, they know the Real Monarchs very well. The Aztecs, well, Oklahoma City Energy, that is going to be their big rival. They will be here next Friday. The Aztecs just 6 days off before their next USL match.
It'll be the first Friday match of the year for Austin. Already have had a Wednesday midweek matchup. That was against WFC2 from Vancouver. Little heel touch from Ture, and this ball sent skyward, and that made its way all the way out to Lamar, and you're going to see cars possibly tapping on their brake lights. We invite those of you tuning in to watch Aztecs and Switchbacks in this USL matchup, and the rest of you who are tuning in simply for traffic reports here in downtown Austin. That ball moving pretty fluidly up and down the pitch, as are the cars on the adjacent Lamar Boulevard. Again, a happy birthday to Eeyore of Winnie the Pooh fame, as I believe it's the 52nd annual Eeyore's birthday party in the adjacent Pease Park here, as it is a festive atmosphere in downtown Austin tonight.
The Austin, world famous as the live music capital of the world, and that doesn't just extend to the clubs downtown. We've got festivals galore, parks everywhere else, and The fans, well, they were treated to a little pregame over at Eeyore's birthday party, just adjacent, and then making their way over here to House Park for this match. Pretty nice evening and afternoon here in Austin.
Some quick passing back and forth. Harada slows it down. As they'll try along the opposite touchline. Down the middle and now out wide. All alone on the edge of the 18. Ball sent in front of the face of the frame, and Lorendi, the only man with a chance to come up and snag it. Nobody for the Switchbacks really making a move on that ball.
Yeah, big opportunity squandered there from Colorado Springs. Beautiful job bringing the ball here to the near side. There wasn't an Aztec defender within about 20 yards, but the service just lacking. And that's really been the case from both of these teams.
What a counter this would be. That one too tall for Tierpak if Austin could then quickly respond. As this ball is going to stay with the Aztecs. Again, we mentioned 2-0 was the score the first time these two sides met. It was Bader in frame for the Switchbacks, Perales in goal for the Aztecs.
Again, what a luxury to have two goalkeepers on your squad of this caliber, to be able to say whoever plays the best this week is going to get the start. Not a lot of teams at this level have that. These two teams, they certainly do.
Credit to Cody Lorendi of Austin. Sat back, watched Perales come through with 2 shutouts in some of his early starts. And at that point, you don't know if you'll ever see time during a regular season match.
Well, the same can similarly be said for Gorick. Watching Bader, the man, former Oklahoma City Energy, originally from our nation's capital, a very highly decorated goalkeeper, biding his time, waiting, and when the opportunity presents itself, taking full advantage.
This is Robinson escorting that ball to midfield. Saeed will now make the run without the ball. They looked to send it back his way with the pass, but it's taken away by Ambrose.
Yeah, the give and go was there, but the pass back to Robinson not finding its intended mark. But Robinson has already done what he was supposed to do coming in as a sub. He's changed the pace of play.
No foul. The footwork was a little too fancy for his own good. Meanwhile, opportunity lost as Toure had the right idea. Just a tad too heavy on the touch.
And this game's starting to open up in the second half. We're starting to see space for both of these teams. The question is, who can take advantage? Who can get the shot by their opposing goalkeeper?
Well, we reminded you of the resume of Steve Tritschu and all that he has done for the United States and the world of football. Of course, not quite an American leading the way for the Aztecs. As you noted, Paul Dalglish led the Aztecs PDL side to a national title. Well, that next year he departed to get an assistant coaching job on his resume, only to rejoin the Aztecs this year in their pro debut. And of course, Dalglish, a well-known and heralded name in the soccer world for good reason. His father is Kenny. And now he looks as his Aztecs back line about to be tested, perhaps. But Ambrose able to shut that down point blank.
Yeah, good work by Ambrose. So many of those backs who press forward, sometimes they don't come back and take care of their responsibilities. Not the case with Ambrose. Always knows that he has to get back. He has to defend first and foremost.
Shot, and this one just poked from that upper right 90 on the near post. It'll be a corner now. A great opportunity for Colorado Springs to find that equalizer.
Beautiful ball played in. Lorendi lucky he was able to parry that one away. Looked initially that was going to be served in. I thought Lorendi anticipated the same thing, but lucky to only concede the corner.
Vercoloni again will do the honors. Looking to get his teammates involved. As Lorendi at the moment almost hip to hip with Saeed Robinson. Well, they're going to swing it out wide. Perhaps a better look from 22 yards. Header deflected and squeezed in by Lorendi, inches from the crossbar.
Now Lorendi has been fantastic. The quick outlet up the pitch looking for Tierpak.
Counter opportunity. Toure was out wide. Instead, they immediately will test the keeper, Gorick, who has the answer.
Yeah, Tierpak knows he should have done better, raising the hand, essentially saying my bad in that situation. And if he elected to play it to Toure or waited for more Navy jerseys to come and help, but that time you've got to do better. Have to put something on goal to trouble Gorick. Just too easy.
Chris Tierpak has the lone goal thus far tonight in the 9th minute. A header, a well-played ball that found the former MVP of the USL PDL National Championship run for the Aztecs 2 years ago. Also happens to be a local boy.
And the Aztecs with a really great mix of local talent. Chris Tierpak from Dripping Springs, just to the southwest of us. Mentioned some other players, local players as well. And then the 2 Brazilians on loan from Curitiba, currently not on the bench because of injuries for Fernando Chimbo and Guaraci. Basketball Dog Leash, what kind of style do you play? He goes, we play an Austin style. We don't care where a player's from. We want them to play the way we do. We want to play high pressing. We want to play 90 minutes. And if they fit into our style, we'll be very happy to take them.
Duray pokes it through, finds the matchup that they're looking for on the left wing. But the end result, again, winds up with Gorick on the ball.
Very, very well defended. No opportunity to put that one across the face of goal. Tierpak there lurking, as was Yates. That all started because of Touré's knifing pass, able to just weight that one perfectly right past the defender. But again, the Aztecs, the opportunities, but unable to find the back of the net. The Aztecs, we mentioned it in the first half, this is a team, one of the highest shots per game of any team in the USL. Goals, well, they'd like to find a few more.
Rushandel will send it back. But this ball is issued back up towards Tierpak. Winds up at the feet of Jordan Burt. Mentioned his prolonged minutes out there. He went to Butler University up there in Indy. And Burt on cue will try to keep that ball in play, but it goes in touch back over to Austin. And it appears that Paul Dalglish is about to make his first personnel change across the way. The reason for the stoppage in action here at the moment. It will mean that each side has made one of their potential 5 subs. And there you have a good look at Andres Cuero. And you talk about local. He's from right here in Austin, went to Westlake High School where he was a chaperone before heading off to Charlotte to play for the 49ers of UNC Charlotte in college.
So the Aztecs will make 2 changes just as the Switchbacks did at half. The Aztecs were waiting just about 15 minutes after to make theirs. Talked about Cuero coming in. He will take the spot here on the near side as this offensive midfielder, and it'll be Tierpak switching forward. He'll take over where Sandy Touré was as that center striker.
We've seen several standouts from Westlake High School play with the old PDL side of Austin, including a couple of towering twins.
Yeah, the other change for the Aztecs coming in the midfield, bringing on Fekete. Ryan Fekete, the native of Hollywood, Florida, man who played for the University of Tampa. He will try to reinforce the right side of the midfield here for Austin.
And that is your other addition now for the Switchbacks. Miguel Gonzalez, Michoacan, Mexico. Played his college ball at Seattle University. They were members of the Western Athletic Conference briefly. It was actually Gonzalez who went down for one of the PKs. That was converted by Vercoloni in that 5-2 victory this past week.
Yeah, Gonzalez taken down in that situation. He didn't go down, he was ripped down, and Vercoloni doing what a veteran does, burying both of those from the penalty spot. Beautiful placement. Goalkeeper guessing right on each occasion, but to no avail. Vercoloni able to put them both in the side netting.
It was that PK that actually made it 1-0 in favor of Colorado Springs. Now, Real Monarchs would match that with a 1-1 score before Colorado Springs ultimately would come through with 4 of the remaining 5 goals in the match. As Rushandel will hit the turf, pop back up, and this will be the Aztecs with the kick.
The Aztecs and their headman Paul Dalglish really showing that they are in this for the full 3 points with the changes. They have 2 midfielders that are more offensive minded in Cuero and Fekete. Fekete, he can drop back, but Cuero, he's a goal scorer, or he's gonna find the assist if he can't find the net himself.
Fekete will celebrate his 24th birthday tomorrow. Trevin Caesar also shares a birthday with him tomorrow. He'll turn 26. There's again Caesar, who came in for Sandy Touré in the home opener each of them scoring. You talked about them being roommates and former teammates in the NASL. Lorendi putting his head to work.
Doing his best Gorick imitation from the first half. Lorendi out of the box to head it away.
Well, obviously the best chance tonight for the Aztecs. They capitalized. Tierpak came through with the goal in the 9th minute. Second best chance may very well have been Sani Touré, who tried to match that with a header of his own on that far post near the end of the first half. Beyond that, limited quality looks in the final stretch. In that offensive third for Austin, we've seen Harada nearly guide Colorado Springs back to a level field.
It's been a very entertaining game, and as you so correctly said, teams have had chances, have been able to not been able to capitalize, I should say. The Aztecs 1-0 lead.
Vercoloni will surrender it out to Harada. Well, when you're Steve Tritchu and you're building your roster and you know that you have two veterans like that you can lean on day in, day out, what a difference that makes. And perhaps a class opportunity here. Off the shoestrings, Aztecs collect, and in the end, Lorendi able to elevate that voice just loud enough that the defender recognizes it and will concede it to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, Lorendi never wanted to hesitate taking control, and that's what you want in a goalkeeper. Gunderson there didn't know Lorendi was behind him, and Lorendi so correctly calling Gunderson off, able to take that one.
Gunderson has the toss from midfield into Tierpak. A miscue as Tierpak will give it back.
Yeah, Gunderson, the Henderson, Nevada native. We don't call his name a lot, but for good reason. He doesn't make a lot of defensive mistakes, just very solid here at right back. Not as quick as Ambrose, but one of the guys you always know what you're going to get anytime Gunderson is out there on the pitch.
It's like if you and I were here on a Friday night this fall calling a high school football game and we start talking about an offensive lineman, usually not a good thing.
That's exactly right. You're back guys on the line. Unless they're pressing forward, we talk about Ambrose and his penchant for contributing offensively. Gunderson, a little more defensive-minded, and certainly you like to see that in your right back.
Yeah, now you're talking about ineligible receivers downfield. So here's Harada, who will collect. Noted Paul Dalglish, obviously all the international ties, Liverpool, etc. But MLS, his first taste, Houston Dynamo, they won the MLS Cup while he was over there on the Gulf Coast. Met his wife, started their family, and I know they're thrilled to be back in Austin this year.
Yeah, wonderful experience up as an assistant coach there, taking care of the forwards at Real Salt Lake. But Paul Dalglish saying, I always wanted to be a head coach. I knew that. Had the opportunity to come back here to Austin, very happy to do so.
Oh, the step advantage, and while Lorendi may have been able to get to that in time, Ryden came through, concedes the corner, did not want to risk it. Lorendi quickly directing traffic.
Great defending from the man on loan from Columbus Crew SC at the last moment, able to drop back and knock that away for a corner.
It was the Kingston Jamaican, though, Saeed Robinson, that was creating all the fuss, forcing the issue, and ultimately winning this corner for his side. Ball delivered far post, in the first noggin to find it belongs to Austin. Cuero trying to hunt that ball down at midfield.
Well, Lorendi caught in no man's land there on the corner kick. Lucky that one didn't find the head of a white shirt to redirect it on the open frame.
Vercoloni out wide, better than 30 yards out. This ball deflected, but back. And Cuero will have it rest at his feet momentarily.
Robinson has been very impressive since coming on as a sub at half for Switchbacks FC. Done exactly what he needed to do. He's used his pace. He's frustrated the defense. You've got to think that it's just a matter of time. Still plenty of time left in this one. And I have a feeling this will not be the end of the goal scoring.
Saeed Robinson already one goal this year, and we can certainly understand how he has found that offensive success. Someone in Eberle's Army might want to call him an Uber ride, send him downtown for the rest of this match.
I'm feeling there's probably a good reggae bar playing some music that Saeed could go frequent.
68th minute underway. They would rather he be off enjoying downtown Austin than threatening to pull this match even. Austin found that goal in the 9th minute, but has not found insurance. What will that mean for the final point allotment when the 90th minute rears its head. Can Austin capture all three? The foul on Harada will ultimately send Fekete down to the pitch. Fekete had been battling a foot issue in recent matches. Good to see him bouncing back. Young man who spent last year at Pittsburgh. As the Aztecs are going to pull out Brendan King. And make their third substitution of the match. Ball lobbed in. Aztecs first to it. As it is Tony Rocha, the Houston native, who has come into this match. Most recent addition for Austin.
Yeah, Rocha, very good holding midfielder. He can press forward offensively, he can drop back defensively, he can really do it all.
And he's been primarily a starter. He has only missed 50 minutes coming into today. 400 minutes already logged with the Aztecs. He was a part of that national championship side in the PDL. And his 2 years with the Aztecs from 2012 to 2013. Along with Chris Tierpak.
So far, all three of the changes the Aztecs have made, they've been offensively minded. They are looking, they are pressing. They're not satisfied with the 1-goal lead.
A little friendly fire back inside the 18. Handled with the boot. Back towards midfield. Cuero. Almost a costly miscue, and perhaps there you saw Josh Phillips, the central defender, say, all right, I need to settle down. I had an extra split second I could have used to collect that ball rather than put the burden on Gorick.
I think both of these teams would be well served to take a deep breath, not try to press so hard, get numbers when you're trying to go forward instead of just going forward as soon as you're able to win the ball. Going into 3-on-5 situation, well, it's rare that you're going to find any success out of that.
Colorado Springs' biggest threat may have developed in the opening seconds of this second half. Straight out of the locker room with a gear we did not see in the first half. See if Vercoloni can reignite that fire. Looking for Robinson. Let me correct myself. For Colorado Springs, that's Aaron King. Just outside the penalty area. And we're being told that the last Austin substitution was, in fact, actually Bryce Taylor making his second ever appearance for the Aztecs tonight. Not Tony Rocha. It was 15, not 16. And speaking of substitutions, we look across the way. As the Switchbacks will now insert Kevin Durr. Just 11 minutes under his belt this year. 7 of those coming for the central midfielder in that 5-2 victory against Real Monarchs the other night.
Now you like the idea on the ball there. Fekete switching to the far side. Taylor playing here to the near side. Tierpak just unable to time the run. Tried to get back on sides, unable to do so. Both these teams going to the bench, bringing a lot of fresh legs on, and both symbolizing neither's content with the current situation, I should say.
Yeah, you could certainly see this match unfold in a couple of ways. Aztecs never finding that insurance goal perhaps could cost them a couple of points.
Yeah, they're going to be kicking themselves if Colorado Springs finds a way to equalize this one. The Aztecs have had the opportunities. Credit good goalkeeping from Gorick. But the Aztecs know they should have done better on numerous occasions.
As Ryden will send this one back over midfield. Again, a reminder, you can follow all of the league action tonight on social media. from the USL. You can follow at USL on Twitter. Feel like a league insider, join club conversations and have a chance at some exclusive giveaways. The Aztecs recently with a giveaway of a Paul Dalglish signed Paul Dalglish poster. And my understanding is more posters to come throughout the season. Some attractive artwork for the Aztecs this year.
Don't worry, I made sure to get you one.
That reminds me, Kit McConico, you have a Sunday morning soccer show here in Austin. And I believe you all will be perhaps offering up a giveaway tomorrow on Sunday.
Indeed we will. Be talking about this match, everything else that has happened in the world of soccer the past few weeks.
Oh, Robinson thought he had the answer to get past the second defender, but instead the tackle plucks it away.
Beautiful work defensively from Hoffer there. Robinson was in on his own. Had a one-on-one opportunity. He saw it. But the last second, Hoffer able to take it away.
And perhaps here is that equalizer. Lorendi puts the right paw out and says, no thank you, sir.
What a save. The man listed at 6'3", and, well, we'll give him a 220. Beautiful work. Reflexes like a cat, able to drop down, put the right paw on that one, and still the 1-0 lead for the Aztecs.
Rushendel tries to do a bit of juggling. Ball at midfield, still with the Switchbacks. A moment ago, Cody Lorendi with his third sensational stop of the night.
Well, Lorendi has been absolutely fantastic this evening. He's been put in some difficult positions, but he's been up to the task each and every time.
There are nights when you have a clean sheet because nothing comes your way. There are other nights when you truly earn that 0. Now, Lorendi hasn't put in a full 90 yet, but he has, at the moment, kept the visitors at bay.
Yeah, Lorendi biding his time. It was Devin Perales who got the start in the Aztecs' first games of the season. Lorendi, he didn't get a start until last game on the road. That 1-0 loss to the LA Galaxy 2, Los Dos, his former squad. But Lorendi saying just getting in there, getting the start, gave him the confidence he needed. And we've certainly seen it here this evening.
Cut you off earlier. You, Garrett Green, co-host Justin Simmons on the throw-in on 104.9 FM. We'll be back on air tomorrow to talk soccer at all levels. And perhaps you'll have more than one goal to talk about when the Austin Aztecs come up.
Yeah, quite frankly, I'm surprised this is the only goal we've seen so far, coming all the way back in the 9th minute, courtesy of Chris Tierpak. And both teams really pressing, and an opportunity now for Colorado.
This time it's Durr out wide. Centers the ball. Robinson has it taken away. It'll simply be a goal kick for the home side. And I believe an indication is that we'll have a substitution coming up. Now I saw that an 18 exiting, and it will be Tierpak coming out of this match. Well, this would follow the theme that we saw in the season opener. The lone goal scorer is taken out. We saw the man who replaced him come in with an insurance goal. The man that night went by the name of Trevin Caesar. And we may very well be following that storyline as Caesar has now entered for Tierpak.
Yeah, Switchbacks FC hoping it's not a case of deja vu. That 2-0 loss in the season opener, courtesy of Tierpak and Caesar. You see the super sub right there, the man from Trinidad and Tobago. And he is something else. He is absolutely lightning. Very similar to Switchbacks FC, Said Robinson, one of the guys likes to take defenders one-on-one, really causes problems.
Mentioned Caesar, part of the NASL champion San Antonio Scorpions last year. One of just 3 goal scorers this year for the Aztecs. A 4th was looking to join them that time, but Fekete off the mark. Or pardon me, that was Bryce Taylor.
Taylor saw Gorick just a bit off his line, tried to curl that one to the far post, but not finding the intended target.
So Sani Toure, who had the game winner in the season opener, only to have Caesar take his spot. Toure remains in this match. He and Caesar will essentially be side by side as strikers. Rushendel flings this one out wide. And this foul will favor Colorado Springs.
Now, the Aztecs looking most dangerous when they play the ball into the wide positions. They really like to use that final third to get wide, then send it back in, take as much space as width as they possibly can. But when they are centralized, when they play down the spine, not nearly as effective, not nearly as dangerous as Austin.
The boot of Taylor Hunter on display. And just as I was about to boast on the MLS loan from the Dynamo, he concedes it to his keeper. Again, it's a short-term loan from the Dynamo. Colorado Springs will certainly welcome Hunter as long as they can have him.
Yeah, the Aztecs very excited and happy to have the services of their loanee, Kalen Ryden, from their affiliate in the MLS, Columbus Crew SC. Got to see them earlier. The Aztecs hosting the inaugural ATX Pro Challenge.
In case there's a misconception, Colorado Springs not matched up with the Rapids this year. Austin measures this one, back post, and it'll slip out of the range of Fekete. Opportunity deflected wide, and this will be a corner for the Aztecs.
Everyone in the stadium thought that was going out of bounds. Fekete somehow able to keep it in and win a corner for the team in Navy.
Both of Austin's wins this year have been by a score of 2-0. Can they match that here in the midst of the 80th minute as Andres Cuero will do the honors? Keeps it tight and low. Switchbacks the first on it.
Yeah, trying to play it to the near post, but you have to do better in that service. Have to get that over the first defender, and here comes Colorado Springs the other way.
The counter building for Colorado Springs. And Lorendi in the end says, I'll put an end to this one. So that corner kick a moment ago, again, Chris Tierpak not taking it as he has been removed from this matchup. They subbed in Caesar in his place, so that removes a valuable foot in terms of set pieces. But at the moment, fewer than 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Aztecs hanging on to a 1-0 advantage as this ball going from one keeper to another.
It's going to be a very exciting final 10 minutes of this match. Neither team willing to concede, give up the result as it currently stands. That being the case, hoping, wishing, and thinking we may see another goal left in this one.
I think Everly's Army would be okay if they don't see any more goals in this one. Cuero inside the 18. Caesar. As the ball right now being controlled by Durr.
And this is when Colorado Springs has looked most dangerous in the counter, whether it's a fast or a slow break. The Aztecs slow to get numbers back, and now finally Navy jerseys back to defend.
10 on the back belongs to Miguel Gonzalez. Burt, 45 yards down. Up ahead to Durr once more. Bercoloni will make a move without the ball inside the box. That ball had the post in its crosshairs. It ultimately veers wide.
And another shot just inches off target. Not sure if Lorendi had it covered, but lucky that one, he didn't even have to put a save on the other side of the post. And really a microcosm of how this game has gone tonight for Colorado Springs. Had the opportunities, had good shots, but when they found the goal, well, the big man in frame in red has been able to press him away.
We have seen King, Harada, and company put that ball within inches of the crossbar and the post tonight on at least 3 occasions. And at the same time, there are times that the ball would have easily eclipsed the goal line if not for a certain man wearing that gold stripe down his chest.
Now, both these goalkeepers have been absolutely fantastic, Larendi and his counterpart, Goric. As the Aztecs make yet another change. Now the native Houstonian, Tony Rocha, the former Golden Hurricane from Tulsa, coming on. The Aztecs continuing to bring in reinforcements offensively, looking for the insurance goal. Now just about 6 minutes remaining.
Minimal stoppage time expected if we continue at this rate. You would be adjusting for the numerous substitutions we have seen. Really no injury time. Rendy sends that one over to his own bench. Paul Dalglish on his feet, directing traffic. Well, fashion be darned, he knew tonight was shorts weather.
And Paul spent enough time here in Central Texas. He understands that pretty much from now through September will be short weather.
Meanwhile, that is less than the men were wearing when it was snowing over there in Colorado Springs in their last outing.
Yeah, the snow the headliner, but actually a fantastic match. Great to watch. You see Paul Dalglish right there. The stylish loafers and the shorts.
For the viewers' sake, we'll stop talking about fashion and focus on the final 6 minutes here. A point still very much available for Vercoloni and the Switchbacks, looking to continue their winning ways. Both wins coming against the same opponent in back-to-back contests, the Real Monarchs. Vercoloni this time was forced to alter his angle with two defenders collapsing on him. And the Aztecs do not want the dangerous number 4 to get that close again.
That great opportunity, unable to keep that one from soaring over the crossbar. But that opportunity all coming because of Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez able to win that one back, send it over to the far side, then back to Vercoloni it went. But Gonzalez and Robinson really pressing here on the near side. If Switchbacks are going to find something, I have a feeling it's going to come from one of those two men.
Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the scheduled 90. Between Austin and Colorado Springs. Two teams that were headed in different directions coming into this Saturday evening. Austin, in its debut year as a pro side, suffering its first losing skid. Colorado Springs enjoying its first win streak.
Yeah, this match of paramount importance for both of these teams, especially for the Aztecs, having dropped their last two. They had to get the victory here this evening, certainly not in the bag, and plenty of time left.
Well, the veterans are still on the field for Colorado Springs, Vercoloni and Harada. Can they help the visitors continue to knock on the door? This one will be given away to Austin. Goal kick coming up.
Aztecs fans watching the clock every single second.
Quick reminder, Nike is a proud partner of the USL. You can follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest in Nike soccer and apparel information. And both these sides active on social media as well, the Austin Aztecs as well as the Colorado Switchbacks FC. After tonight, Colorado Springs will remain on the road. 1 week from tonight, they will be in Peoria, Arizona, outside of Phoenix, taking on Arizona United, which is off to an impressive start this year, before welcoming Timbers 2 from Portland in their next home matchup on May 9th.
A good ball here to the near side. Taylor just unable to keep it in. We see neither team taking any second, both really pressing. No time is of the essence. Certainly the case for Colorado Springs, still looking for the equalizer.
Kyle Hoffer has logged 87 minutes on that right leg and just unloaded on that ball.
Yeah, possibly a bit of frustration from the Aztecs. They know they have the 1-goal lead, but I think a lot of them thinking they should have done better on numerous opportunities. Someone who should not have done better, who has done absolutely amazing, that man right there, Cody Larendi. A fantastic evening for the Aztecs goalkeeper.
If Austin can pick up the victory here, then we would look ahead to a pretty fun stretch for the Aztecs. They stay at home this upcoming Friday to host Oklahoma City, the Energy. And on May 6th, well, they recently unveiled some kits they would wear against the All Air Force side. Some good-looking unis that the Aztecs would wear that one night only.
Switchbacks FC assistant coach Luis Agostume, longtime coach there at the Air Force Academy. I'm sure he will know numerous players on that All Air Force squad.
Miguel Gonzalez needs to be careful. A couple of forearms delivered. Meanwhile, Aztecs back line needs to be careful as well.
Yeah, the Aztecs have been porous, and increasingly so as the second half progresses. Colorado Springs looking, but the question is, will it be too little too late with just about 90 seconds remaining in regulation?
We talk about what's coming up next month. In the second round of the U.S. Open Cup is when these sides will get involved. That is always a fun time of year. And I'm excited that for the fans in Colorado Springs, they'll get their first taste of the Cup, as will the Aztecs as a pro side. They've already participated in one of America's greatest tournaments when they were in the PDL.
Yeah, the U.S. Open Cup, Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, one of the greatest competitions in soccer, not just in the United States, but personally I think in the entire world. One of the great things that any team at any level can go on a run. We saw that Cal FC squad a few years ago led by Eric Winalda, and the wonderful job they did, able to knock off some MLS guns.
Colorado Springs, one final effort. And this won't help. Caesar heading north. Ball poked out wide, but it stays with the home side. No obligation to take a shot. Possession very much their friend at the moment. Caesar just not enough on that last pass. But Roseboom will help the Aztecs recover.
Roseboom on the spot, as he has been all night and all season. The man with the captain's armband.
No fewer than 3 minutes will be added here in stoppage time. Already underway. And based on all the substitutions we've seen in the second half, that's about right.
Very well played game. Haven't seen any injuries. Haven't seen a single card issued so far. But as you mentioned, a lot of subs early in the second. Colorado Springs making 2 at the break, and then more as the half progressed. The Aztecs, they made a 3, then 4 as they saw fit.
Gonzalez helped them earn one of those 2 PKs in that 5-2 victory. A similar scenario here would create almost a guaranteed tied score. It's been a well-disciplined back line for the most part tonight. And again, here comes Caesar. Leading the pack. He is among 4 switchbacks, and a 5th comes down to make the stop. Gorick about 15 yards off his line. Staring down Caesar and preventing the insurance goal once again.
Yeah, the shot needed to be better from Caesar. Had the opportunity, showed his speed. Always dangerous is Trevin Caesar, but too easy for Gorick, putting that one right at the feet. Gorick able to cover it up. And still the only goal allowed, coming all the way back in the 9th minute from Chris Tierpak.
This is not the time to give up that goal. By our count, unofficially midway through stoppage time. That man has come through with at least 3 highlight saves tonight. Those coupled with some near misses. And this could very well be a different story had a few things gone the other way.
A spectacular performance from Larendi. He may well solidified his spot between those 2 posts. kind of game. When the opportunity presents itself, you have to take advantage. Larendi has done that absolutely fantastic this evening. And if this is indeed the final, the Aztecs fans, well, he's going to be one who's going to receive a lot of appreciation.
Valuable seconds ticking away in favor of Austin. Looking to get back on the winning track and climb back up that table in the Western Conference. Final whistle has blown. Chris Tierpak with the game winner in the 9th minute. A beautiful header on that far post. And Everly's Army, the drought is over. More points added to the table here in 2015. And the celebration can resume at least for one more night here.
Great, very well needed and deserved victory by the Aztecs, able to stop their first losing streak as a professional franchise. The lone goal coming all the way back in the 9th minute, but credit the defense, credit Larendi, and that man right there, Roseboom, doing a great job, able to retain the lead and make one goal enough to come up with the full 3 points.
Second start of the year for Larendi, his first clean sheet in the USL here in 2015 for the 26-year-old from Florida. Again, Tierpak with the game winner. 1-0 your final score. The final meeting between these two sides here in Austin. Again, the Aztecs will return the favor once in July and later in September as they will make their way to Colorado Springs. But a reminder, coming up next for the Switchbacks, they'll try to get back on the winning track when they travel to Arizona United. And I know they would want you to know that their next home matchup will be against Portland on May 9th, 2 weeks from today. A chance to cheer them on, perhaps to 3 more points in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, for the Aztecs, they're not going anywhere. In fact, you don't even have to wait 7 nights. How about 6 nights? Friday will be their next matchup. It is their first chance to see Oklahoma City Energy, the team just up I-35, about 6 hours north of here across the Red River, before they then will welcome in Real Monarchs on May 9th here at home as well. It'll be a nice home stretch for the Aztecs. We'll see if they can piece together a winning streak, building up towards that U.S. Open Cup second round near the end of May. Lincoln Rose with Kit McConico. Kit, your final thoughts?
Very well played, entertaining game. I think the story is going to be missed opportunities from both teams. Only 1 goal, and that was enough for the Aztecs. Their defense standing strong. Credit Larendi in that back line. 1-0, enough to come up with the full 3 points. The Aztecs very happy to stop their first losing skid as a professional franchise, and now all thoughts turn to next week in Oklahoma City Energy.
Aztecs through 6 matches now in their inaugural USL campaign. 3 wins, 3 losses, 9 points on the table. The Switchbacks, with the loss tonight, see that 2-game winning streak snapped. And now 2 wins and 3 losses on the 2015 campaign. Best of luck to both sides moving forward. Our thanks to you for tuning in. Thanks to our production team as well. Here in Austin, final score, Aztecs prevail 1-0.